So
Okay.
we're live now. So go ahead. So start with
All right.
reviewing this past week, how this past week went in regards to the videos.
Videos. All right. Perfect. So the videos this week. Can you see me on here?
Yeah, you're fine.
Okay. So the videos this week. Record myself. It actually went well. The first one that I did, I believe it was Monday. Um, I wasn't really nervous because I feel like I can speak in front of the camera. My main thing was knowing what to talk about. So Monday I actually had something, to talk about. After you and I had talked on Saturday, I just felt compelled and motivated to move towards this. It was something that I wanted to do for a long time. So I went back to where the first video I recorded was. I went back to where, I started and where I began, in my career or my profession. And I went there. I recorded myself. This video is probably about like 16 minutes. I just sat in the car, before I got out, and I just was explaining what I was about to do. I introduced myself, explained what I was about to do, and then I went and I had talked to some people while I was on camera. I just said, man, what the heck? What do I have to lose, And that that gave me the momentum to go into the second video. And I was caught up in the air. I'm like, okay, Monday I had something to talk about. Now what I want to talk about this next day. And I got that text from you, and you was like, dude, keep the momentum. This is important for your mindset. Keep going, not just one and done. You got to keep doing it, to build that confidence.
Right.
So I went and I said, okay, what the heck? I'm around family, so let's talk, about, family, or, do a video with family. And I had the kids with me. Jordan, like always, she was crying. And my son, he's silly. He likes being in front of the camera and stuff. So he came over there and, I just introduced them. And I sold my daughter on, stop crying. I told the camera, I said, listen, I'm going to show you how I can sell, man. And I had sold her on stop crying. And then the last video, that was a short one. That one only lasts, a few minutes. But
I got some of those too.
Yeah. But I felt like, okay, I got in front of the camera. I didn't let that momentum die down. And the next video, again, I had woke up. This one was crazy because we have some new team members coming on. And thanks for listening too, by the way. We had some new team members coming on, and DMV, that's the motor vehicle. I had to go there and register one of the new vehicles that we have, and it's so backed up because of COVID and everything. They're still like backed up. COVID has had a huge impact on, their processing and everything like that. So, dude, I went out around 1 a.m. just to get a spot, and the place didn't open until 9. So I was sleeping outside in my fold-up chair, So while en route, I basically was just talking about that. Depends on like how bad you want it, and
that's true.
Because I could have let the day go by, and I would have been standing in that long line. So,
Wow.
I was number 3 when I got there, opposed to probably number 50 if I would have got there, during regular business hours. So that made all the difference. So those were like the 3 videos that I did, and then kind of got caught up in some work, but I felt good about it, dude.
Okay. Well, first, great job for creating those 3 videos. Like I said, for whatever reason, I think it's just all in our head. For whatever reason, we always start to feel this queasy, weird. The second we hit record and talking about it, we're like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. But the second you want to start doing it, you're like, who am I to start doing this? like I told you, you're gonna start feeling that. So yeah, it definitely feels weird. Like I said, who knows why that happens? Just voices in our head and whatnot. But good job on creating the 3 videos.
Thank you, man. It means a lot. It really does. And I felt, I don't know if I mentioned this because I was kind of like talking real fast, but I feel like instead of planning for me, because it's like, all right, and I remember you told me this in the old videos, just do it. Don't worry about, what somebody, want to hear. Just talk about the certain topic. Just keep going on and on. So, but for me, instead of planning, I feel like I'm better in front of the camera when when I'm actually experiencing something or about to experience it, and I feel like it's worthwhile speaking about, I'm just like, okay, I just had this experience. Let me talk about it and maybe able to help other people.
Right.
Because, yeah. So.
Yeah, and if you remember from our conversations with what we were doing, I was like, bro, you're gonna get your own feel eventually. Like you're gonna get your own, kind of style of how you're gonna do things, whether you plan, whether you don't plan, whether you do like really tailored videos or you just kind of do some like looser, no edit, all these different styles. You're eventually gonna get your own thing. Maybe you have like a 1-year plan, 2-year plan, 3-year plan. Like eventually you'll get there, but just right now you're not. That's kind of like where I'm at right now. Because I'm like, okay, I just want to get the habit of getting started. And I don't want to give myself more excuses for not uploading because I don't know how to do X, Y, Z. So yeah, there is no one way to do it. So that's fine. Whatever you feel. I feel like the most important thing with this is whatever you commit to, keep that word to yourself. Like not even for me, not even for anyone else. If you are like, all right, Lorenzo, I'm gonna be doing a video a day or 3 videos a week or 5 videos a week, whatever the number is, you got to keep that for yourself because I don't know what it is, but something about when you're trying to have a voice in an industry or just trying to like have a voice of influence, there's something about it that when you miss or if you're inconsistent, dude, you ain't going to take yourself seriously. So other people definitely aren't. So it's something about, even if no one's like listening to you right now, as long as you're consistent, at least you're taking yourself seriously and people will see that. You know what I'm saying?
Yep, I agree, man. And that's a great point. That's a great point because I only started, based off like, what you taught me. You told me that I will find that flow. You told me that I'll find a style that will fit me. So again, that's a great point.
Yeah.
So yeah, man.
Cool. So the other question that I had with it, in regards to the videos was the topics, because one of the things that we did was we planned out the topics the other week. So there's 2 questions that I have with this. One is the topics, and we'll stay focused on that one right now. Did you hit any of those topics or did you do all just like whatever you were feeling like kind of in the moment? I know you said you did your story, which we talked about that.
Yes.
So did you use any of those or did you like scrap those and then you're like, okay, I just want to do something kind of like in the moment?
That's a great question. So in order, I didn't, but because everything that you had me write down, those are like those are the things that I do on a daily basis or whatnot. So like you said, the first one I did, where I started, intro about like how I got into doing what I do. And another one was in there, like life outside of business, family. That one was like super short, but I feel like I hit that. And then that last one was kind of random. Yep, that last one, me waking up, driving to the DMV in the morning, that one was kind of random, but I do feel like I hit 2 out of the 7 topics in those 3 videos. So it wasn't kind of, just like not planned. It was planned. I just didn't know which topic I would hit first. And those first 2 videos definitely covered 2 of the 7 topics that we wrote down that day.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah. And this is something that if you want to write this down, you can, but this is something that by next week, I want you to get clear on, if not pretty clear on,
Okay.
is what you're willing to commit to. Because I don't care what the number is, if it's one video a week, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7, or like 14, doing 2 a day and, just going crazy. I don't care what the number is, but for your own sake, I want you to commit to something. And that way you have a number in your head every week that you have to hit. So
Okay.
I know we planned out 7 videos the last time we spoke, and that's okay. You got 3, no worries. Like, think about, okay, if I willing to do 7, what is this going to get me? Because you got to remember, it's like you're building another business. So
Right.
it's what I was talking about with, okay, having a voice in an industry, which is what you're trying to do, which is you're trying to recruit more people to your own business and help them start their own, et cetera, et cetera. You remember, just like if you were to treat this this trucking business right now, lackadaisical, like
Yes.
say you had a job and you're like, I'm kind of doing this, it would never take off. So in the
Yep.
same manner, whatever you're willing to commit to, make sure you commit to. So you don't have to answer that right now, but by next week, have that kind of number in place and have an idea of like where you want it to go. Because as much as, and this will lead to the next question, which will lead to kind of what we want to talk about for this week. But as much as you can zoom out on your own plan and on your own like life, the more clear that things will get with where you're going, instead of just like running really, really hard and then going, okay, where am I now? Then
Yep.
trying to like constantly redirect and whatnot. So this will lead us to where we're going, which is focusing on zooming out, working on the business instead of in the business. But what do you think, kind of a two-part question, what do you think happened last week and this week where you were able to record none the first week, then record some the second week, and then life got busy again? What is going on in your head on those days? Like what do you think happens on those days?
So, in order for me to be able to fit this, inside my life, I actually did just that. I delegated a lot of the work to, other people. Like my wife works with me, my sisters, they handle the back office or whatnot. And I'm so big on being like, everything just has to be just right in a way, like the way that I need it. And I oversee them, I look over them, and it's like, okay, not that they're, not making the attempt or not doing it right. It's like, man, I got to do it. Like, I need it this way. And even though I have them in position and I pay them for that, I still feel like somewhere in there, I have to do it. And that's what I do. I take on everybody's role. If I have to go drive, I'll drive, just to keep the customer happy. Emails, stuff like that. So, Paul, so let's just say this. So in the past, before I got a chance to record, like say now, my wife has to send out 5 emails.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't feel comfortable with me being up here, talking, to you while I left her to send them emails. It's like, all right, you have to send those emails, Krista, and I'm looking over top of her or whatever like that. So that's taken away from the time that I can really be doing something else, beneficial by me overseeing. So everybody is like, I'm building it, but then I'm still a part of it because I just need to make sure they're doing it right. And I just have to, I felt as though, transitioning into this next phase by separating myself from the businesses, just trusting that, I taught them how to do it right. Being able to let it go, because I put so much blood, sweat, and tears in it. It's like, man, if I step away and somebody messes up, this is all I have.
I hear you. So first of all, I want to commend that. I 100% respect, especially with the story that you just got done saying. And, you know,
Yeah.
going at 1 a.m., you go into that just to get it, you know, the titles and tags and to get the thing registered. And I mean, dude, that's the grind. And I love the stories of the beginning. They're so awesome and so fun for me. But we don't want to stay in the beginning phase, right? We don't want to
Yes, sir.
stay there. And
Man.
there's nothing wrong with staying there if you do want to stay there. But I've talked to you before and you said, I don't want to stay there. I want to grow bigger. I want to do more. And so I feel like one of my jobs to do is to help point out some things on how we can get there. So with that being said, I want to give you a little illustration. It may be imperfect, but I hope you understand it and it works. So
I'm all ears. Yes, sir.
you do have a son, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I specifically said son compared to daughter because daughter might be a little different. It might be a little more hovering going on. But like with your son, it is very reasonable when they're a baby. I mean, they need to get taken care of by their mama, especially because they're a baby. They don't know jack squat.
Right.
4 and 5, okay, they're getting a little more understanding, but they still don't know much about the world. 6 to 10, okay, they know what's going on. They know what's going on, and you're kind of hovering. But once they reach kind of after 10, you're like, okay, my dude's about to become a teenager. You know, they're kind of getting to that age. If you keep hovering over them the same amount, it's going to be weird if you keep doing that and you're not letting them grow up into a man. And you know, a man in particular, they want their freedom. They want their, I mean, a girl does too, but you know, a guy wants to prove to his dad that, you know, he can do the stuff. And if a dad's not willing to trust, like for example, like let's say mowing the lawn, something as simple as that. That's something that my dad did with me. And dude, I love that. I started taking care of that lawn and, you know, having it look good at like 10 years old. He would come home, hey, wow, it looks good. I did it on my own. You know, first couple of times he's doing the lawnmower with me. But then he's like, okay, I'm gonna let you. And even if you mess it up, hey, that's okay because we'll learn and we'll progress because I'm not gonna mess it up every time.
Right.
And then eventually they get to the point where you trust them that if you were to even pass, you'd be like, all right, son, take care of the family. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of like where the things go. In the same manner, yes, when your business is a baby, bro, you need to be waking up every 4 hours and you're on that. You're on that. That's the hustle. But you don't want to stay in that baby phase with your business all the time where you're grinding. One, you're going to be depleted. There's a reason why babies only stay babies for a little bit. You know, the parent won't survive. They got to do that all the time. But two, it's eventually to the point where your reflection as a job that you did as a parent is determined on how these kids can hold up themselves when they're on their own and just prior to being on their own. That's how, you know, you can kind of tell when things are going well or not. And you get where I'm going with this. In the same manner,
Yes,
if you want to transition to the business being bigger, you just factually know you can't do everything. So your mindset has to change from these jobs getting done to my standard to now it has to be transitioned from my sole job in this company as you begin to transition is to develop these people to do you're no longer focused just on the job. Your focus now is how well am I developing these people to do the job? Because you're like, hey, the job's going to get done. You know, like how hard is it to mow lawn? How hard is it to send an email? People can learn those things. And if we're going to say they can't, we're going to say that's pretty insulting. We shouldn't be able to. But your focus now transitions from the to-dos to the people. If you want to grow this thing, you cannot be in the weeds. Your weeds now has to be people's development and their own skill sets and their own ability. Now, of course, like when my dad was first showing me how to mow the lawn, he's going to walk the lawn. He's going to look out the windows. He's going to be doing that stuff. And like, that's okay. You know, you're in that transition period when you start handing that off. It may be a little nerve wracking. Like that's totally cool. But if you want to build something big, your main focus needs to be on strategy of the business, like direction, where's it going? All right, how are we going to do this macro view and development of people? And then the people then carry out that plan. Does that make sense?
Man, dude. You have so much clarity on it, like you're like right here, dude. It makes so much sense. And you know, I wish I could have viewed. You know, I'm glad that you're sharing it with me, but I don't know how you view it like that.
I'll tell you, Lorenzo, here's one of the things that I've learned. Most okay, truth is something that we know internally, like we just know this. I'm convinced at least of this. Truth is something that we know, and what makes people start to follow the truth is when you connect it to something that they already know to be true. So, for example, I knew you already knew this was going to be true because you're a dad, and
Yeah.
you have a son. You just weren't transitioning it to the business. And so all I did in my brain was, okay, if I think about this in a business sense, how can I get Lorenzo to also think about this as well? What does he already believe to be true about his current life experience, and what will he'll be like, okay, that makes perfect sense. So all it is connecting a new truth with a past truth,
Mm-hmm.
and then that makes it go. And then whenever people start thinking about those things, they're like, oh, this is normal. I'm gonna have these growing pains, like because it's like my kid. I'm raising my kid. Okay, my business is like my kid.
Yeah.
So that's all it is. Is I constantly try and think about how do I communicate a truth, and you depending on your audience, you got to think about what do they already perceive to be true, and then connect it with that. And you're
Man,
gonna go, wow.
yeah, man. Dude, I don't know how you pulled that off, but it's like, man, you just like took it right out of me, man. So,
Mm-hmm.
so I can definitely see that. And just looking while you were explaining it, I'm reflecting back on, what I do day to day. And it's just that, I'm always peeking out the blinds, or
Yep.
whatever like that. So it's like, I do have to get better, and if I wanted to grow, or else I'm gonna just keep going in circles. It's gonna work, but it's not gonna expand. It's not gonna,
Right. Right.
yeah. But
And by the way,
that's it.
and that's I wanted to start off by saying I commend you though, because again, I don't want you to go so hands off so quick. That'd be like a dad hearing this and that with his 9-year-old son. All right, son, just go. It's like no, it's a little early. He ain't there yet. So I start off with commending you because I think your paranoia, which is what you have, is good. It's like the dad should always be looking out. Hey, where's the threat? Where's the threat? Hey, how can this go wrong? That's actually always a good thing. That should never stop. But it should just start to be expanded and then shared, because now I know for myself, even when we're out or something like that with my family, I'm on the
Yeah.
lookout too now. You know what I'm saying? So my dad has allowed me to share, whether consciously or unconsciously. He's allowed me to share in that kind of like protective mode. And, hey, this family unit is all of us, and you're going to start having people within your own business do that. Hey, this is like our thing. It's not just like Lorenzo's thing. This is our thing.
Yeah.
Where you give them autonomy and let them have that. So.
Man,
So
that's deep, dude.
So one of the things that I want to talk about now that we have that picture in place is the how-to. The
Okay.
how-to of, because it sounds good, but how do we go about doing that? So one of the things that you can do, which all I want you to do this next week is kind of focus on this, is record what you're doing every day. Record what you're doing every day. So literally from sun up to sundown, type little notes on your phone after you complete whatever activity. And dude, I don't care if it's dishes. I don't care if it's going for a walk. I don't care if it's making a call. Everything that you do, we're going to do a time audit. That's what we're going to do this next week. Okay.
Okay.
I want you to record everything that you're doing. And if you remember, you can put, 30 minutes, 2 hours, however much time that you spend on it. Because what we're going to do next week is we're going to look over this time, and I'm just going to ask you, I'm not going to say what you need to delegate. I'm going to ask you, hey, what out of this like list is able to be delegated and what isn't? You can't delegate a walk. You got to go take that walk.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to doing emails, okay, who could I teach? Is this going to be a freelancer? Is it going to be something that I can add to someone who already works, for me? How am I going to do this? Do I need to hire like a whole support crew, or is this just going to be like a one-off, like I said, like little freelancer? All these questions are things that we can go over next week. But the thing that I want you to do this week is a time audit and record what you do from sun up to sundown, how much time it takes. And then when we get to next week, we're going to look at who of these can take the reins or begin to take the reins, because you don't want to do the transition too fast. And eventually, bro, this is how you start replacing yourself. The more you can replace yourself, the bigger things will get. And your job then goes from those tasks to, am I helping my people grow? Because the mark of a good leader is someone who produces other leaders, not just someone who gets things done. Because someone who gets things done, who's a leader, is a great manager. You see the difference on that? Someone who helps people get things done is a good manager, and he may lead the people well for that. But a good leader is able to reproduce other leaders. That's what the sign. Maybe I should even say a great leader is able to produce other leaders who then go on doing what he's doing, because it just shows the multiplication and the ability to not have it depend so much on one person's skill. So you can think about the differences between those: leaders, managers, tasks, people-driven, etc. But the main thing, as you continue with the videos and as you continue with, getting clear on how much you want to produce, you have to time audit yourself and be like, all right, how many things am I doing here? That's a waste, or not a waste, but not extremely productive.
That's exact. Yeah. Not focused. Yep. That's it, dude. That's a waste, man. Because I don't watch TV and stuff.
Right.
I know.
I know you ain't doing the simple stuff. Right. Right.
Yeah, I don't do. But dude, man, this is a blessing, dude. I'm telling you, that 4 a.m. prayer. This is exactly what it is. We needed that time,
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't our plan. So us taking that time off to really, because I was moving. I just was moving. And it's like, all right, I'm filling it in. I know I got to do this, but I got scattered brain. I'm all over the place. And it's like, dude, you take this time to do this. If this is what you really want to do, I'm telling you, you take the time to do it, not how to do it. You figure it out. And
Correct.
When I got that, it's like, man, so I appreciate that. Great advisor, great mentor, even better friend, and brother. So it's like, dude, that's how I know. I'm just listening to you when your next business is going to take off, dude, because you have that understanding already. These were things that, I knew I can learn, but you already possess them, So you're going to be great at that. So, man.
I appreciate that, man.
I appreciate it too, man. Especially hold me accountable.
Mm-hmm.
That means a lot.
I didn't know how you were going to respond last week. I was like, well, we'll see. We'll see.
Yep.
Because I ain't going to force it.
Yeah, yep. But that's it, And I carry that with me because I don't have that.
Yeah.
Everybody, like you said, it's like I do it down to like, my mother, my sister, everybody depends on me, and I have to make every decision for everybody, from the kids to my wife, to my mother, to my sisters, to my brothers, and it's like to even the people that work. But and I always tell myself that, dude, I really do, because I'll sit there and I'm just like, man, I gotta tell this person how to do this, and I don't mind, but it's like around the clock. It's not like it's it just happens periodically. It's like I have to teach some or tell somebody how to do something every second, and it's like they don't hold on to it, I guess, because, like you said earlier in the video, because I'm doing it. Or I'm not allowing them to make the mistake to correct it, So,
or you're telling them but not teaching them.
Telling them but not teaching them. So, and I know they want to do it because they've been doing it for these last couple of years, So I want to learn how to be. I know I can teach them. I can teach them instead of telling them. I guess what I'm trying to say is, and I appreciate you having this conversation, just thinking about it. What I'm trying to say is, how can I get them, to want to learn? Because they're doing it, but are they really, internalizing it?
Yep.
Taking what I'm saying and, would they be able to produce what I mean? Because that's what I ask them all the time. If I just, just go step away, for one day, what would you guys do? Would you just beat down my phone? Because that's how it is. If I step away, if I go run to the grocery store or something, every last single person, all 7 of them, are calling me,
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, what up? This is this and that is that. And I'm like, dude, like, what am I doing, man?
Yeah.
But it's still in that baby phase. I'm babying them. That's
Yeah.
exactly what I'm doing, man.
Yep.
I'm changing the diapers,
Yep.
And Paul, man, dude, you have a gift, man.
I
You have
appreciate
a
you.
gift,
I
dude.
appreciate
Yeah,
you letting
man.
me help you.
Man, what? Dude, man, this is one. If you can like bleep certain things out or like talk over certain things, I think this will be great for people that, outside of me that you would eventually be inspiring and helping because you'll see where it goes from here.
Yeah.
That's what I needed,
Yeah.
So thank you,
Good.
man.
Next week, I appreciate all that, man. And when I say, I mean, I know you feel grateful, but dude, this is letting me serve. This is letting me serve. So I feel grateful as well. You're letting me use where I feel like God's giving me gifts, and so I'm getting just as much joy out of it as you are. So next week we will once we go over the time audit and what you're committed to for the videos, we'll go over how to delegate and how to make sure that it's not dependent on personality, that we can even if someone were to drop, like say like they just left the job and then bring someone else in, like talk about how to have that happen fast. And so we'll go into a few tactics for that. So just come prepared next week again.
All right. Yes, sir. I will. So I have, what are you willing to commit to as far as videos for YouTube? I have that. I also have focus on recording what I'm doing and, basically timestamp it, time audits. How much time is it taking me to do each of these things and, identify them, or categorize them. Or is that what you and I are going to do? Next week, we'll categorize them and look at them from like order of importance, or like if I should be doing this or if somebody else should be doing
we'll
it.
do all that next week. All I want you to do is audit. So like, okay, or record, I should say. Just list and put the time next to them. Just literally just list.
Okay.
Yeah, and put the time next to it.
All right. I'm going to start now.
Okay. There you go.
Yeah, I'm going to start now. And I really appreciate that. That helps me with so much, man. Because also last week I was due to like, build a little program to help people, start their own transportation business and everything. And I have about maybe 10 people, dude. 10 people that just, want to learn. And I'm like, okay, I need to be prepared for that because they're going to come with so many questions and everything like that. So, man, I gotta get some things done, man.
Yep.
I really do.
Yep.
I really do. Yep.
Yeah, and we can, dude, honestly, like within the coming weeks too, we can talk about how to handle that because I couldn't say it enough, whether you believe me or not. When people see genuineness, when people say that you've done something, they're gonna come. It's just statistically impossible. It doesn't mean that you're gonna get thousands, but I was like, bro, you're gonna get some, and just like being prepared for that, especially, which I'm kind of glad that we're not going directly into ads now, because like that's what I was thinking that we were gonna do this month, but obviously there are some definitely more important things to work on. Because we don't want to bog you down with more potential if it's just going to go down the toilet because we can't handle it.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, I'm definitely we'll take this one week at a time with it, because there's a million things to do. Just like there's a million things to teach a baby. Well, you can only teach so many at a time. So,
man, this was a great talk. This was a great talk. I feel good. You said it, man. You said it before we even got on. I got the text, man. Sounds like today's going to be a great day, brother.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, man. So I live in a city, man. I know country, you probably don't hear.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, hear all this stuff, but I'm
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we live in Philly now, Philadelphia. Jersey's only 10 minutes from here, but
Nice.
yeah. But I really appreciate it once again. Let's see where we go from here, man.
Okay.
Let's see where we go from here.
Okay.
You know,
Yep.
I only have myself, and then my consciousness of the Lord. That's the only thing that really accountable about what I do and the actions that I take. The Lord part, I feel like I'm blessed. I'm good with that. So that's what keeps me going, because that's how I have everything. That's who provides.
Yep.
So all the blessings that I have, I know that that's where it comes from. Now it's up to me to manage them, and I need reminders. I need reminders. So I really appreciate you holding me accountable. It definitely made me better. It wasn't like it was a habit, some habits that I had to eliminate, because I was already, designed for this. I get it, so, but I just needed that reminder, and we all need that. So the power of now, it kicked right in, as soon as you said it, it's like, dude, what do you want to do? Like, I know you already committed, because this is what I do, on a daily basis. I commit first, and I figure the rest out later, kind of thing. But so you helped me find that, and again, thank you, man.
Yeah. And if you have any questions just throughout the week, anything, just hit me up. Okay.
Yes, sir, man. I will. Thanks for your time, and thanks for leading by example.
Yep. Appreciate you, man.
All right. Yeah, you as well, man.
All right, man. I'll see you.
All right. Later. See you.